Today on the channel, we're going to upgrade the pickups, the pots, and the switch in this Chinese Explorer. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a follow-up video in a series that I'm doing regarding this Chinese Explorer that I bought on eBay for $250. I went out and bought some pickups for it today, and I got a new switch and I got some new pots. So I'm going to do a quick upgrade on this guitar and see if I can really make this thing scream. I'm going to show you what the stock pickups in it sound like right now, just for comparison, as promised. If you've been following my videos closely, you've been watching this whole thing from the time that I ordered it to when I got it and unboxed it. And this is going to be the demo and the upgrade, okay? So let's check it out. I've got it running in a Pro Tools through my Fractal Axe 8, a little bit of a gritty sound. The pickups in this guitar are microphonic. I don't know if you can really hear that very well. I can hear it. Sounds like someone knocking at the door, but these are very microphonic. I don't think they're potted. They sound kind of spongy. They're not really great sounding pickups. I mean, what do you expect? The guitar was $250, but it's really pretty. It's set up fairly decently. All the hardware on it is nice, that I can tell. But, you know, it definitely needs pickups, and I figured why not put a nice switch and pots in it while I'm at it. So let's check it out. All right, so there you go. That's a brief demo of the stock pickups. So let me get this thing on the bench. I'm going to show you the pickups that I purchased, and we'll start from that, okay? Cool, let's do it. Okay, so I went down to the Gibson garage in Nashville. It's one of my favorite places to visit. It's like a kid in a candy store, and I picked up some modern and original collection pickups. So take a look. Did some research and basically looking online at used prices as well as new prices. I opted to do something a little bit different with these pickups. So what I'm going to do is on the for this one here, the modern collection, this, if you can see, this one is a Dirty Fingers. This is a Zebra Dirty Fingers pickup in the modern collection. I'm going to put that in the bridge. So I want to do that, and I've got a classic 57 plus that I'm going to put in the neck. I've had a 57 plus in the neck before. They're slightly overwound and should be really creamy and super hot. So that should be a lot of fun in the neck. And this Dirty Fingers will be real aggressive in the bridge. So hopefully these will sound great, but that's my intention there. So they're both Zebras. I opted to get Zebras to put in the guitar because I thought they'd look really nice with the flame top and the paint scheme that's on the guitar. And I got three pots here. and I will use the little the tone cap that's in the guitar for the tone capacitor, if there's not one in here. And I've got a three-way switch that's kind of an L-shaped one since it's an Explorer. So we're going to go all Gibson parts and pickups. So let's check it out, okay? I'm going to take the strings off the guitar first and get it disassembled, and we'll take a look at the pickups that are inside of it. All right, I've got the strings off the guitar and the back plate off of this, and it looks like they've got some pretty decent size pots on the inside of the guitar, but those are all going to come out. So what I'm going to do is take the pots out of the guitar and unsolder the connections first. And to do that, this isn't going to be really an instructional video on how to upgrade your guitar. I mean, I guess it sort of could be, but I'm not going to go into like major camera detail on what I'm doing, because I want to get this upgrade done. The purpose of this video is to show the difference in the Chinese pickups and a decent, nice set of Gibson pickups, or whatever type of pickup I had decided to go with. I was thinking about going with some Super Distortion DiMarzios, but I went with the Gibsons instead. But yeah, I'm gonna take these pots out of the guitar and unsolder everything, because it's just easier to work with it outside of the instrument. These are the volume pots right there. So here's our pickup. Pickups are going to be soldered straight onto the first lug and grounded to the top of the pot. So I'm going to undo those and take these pickups out first. So that's step one. The soldering gun here is heated up to about 500 degrees. So that should be fairly easy to get these off. It's always a good idea to lay like a towel or some kind of protective layer on your guitar, instead of doing what I'm doing here. So I'm kind of freeballing this and doing this kind of quick, trying to be careful, but cutting a couple corners. They got this stuff all tangled up in here. All right, there's the other pickup wire, the ground wire right there, and the lead on that lug. Okay, so the pickups are now free to come out. This yellow and this red wire should be the pickups. Okay. My stool is very squeaky, quite annoying. All right, so there we go. Cool. Okay, so change of plans. It looks like they've got the pickups soldered to the switch. So that's weird. Usually you run the switch, to the pots, and the pickups right to the pots. But they've got these pickups wired right to the three-way switch. So, there's more than one way to wire these things up, but I just, I think it's weird that they wired the pickups to the three-way switch. That's just strange to me. One thing that's weird about working on these Chinese guitars is sometimes you run into issues with the size of the holes for the shaft for these pots. These are going to be Chinese pots, so these Gibson pots are going to be thicker, so I'm probably going to have to drill out those holes just slightly to get the pots in there. And sometimes the routing channels for the cables are a little half of the wires are a little weird and wonky. You always run into some strange surprises. These upgrades are never as easy as you want them to be. Hey, so check this out. This is a nice switch. This is a nice switch. I'm going to, I think I'm going to leave this, switch alone. I'm just going to wire it differently. How do they have these pickups wired? Have I misunderstood something here? Maybe they don't have it ran to the switch. Oh, I see what they did. Never mind, I'm so stupid. Okay, so what I'm doing here is taking the pickup wiring out of the channels, the routing holes here. They've got the underneath this section right here. I'll show you. I'll take the camera out. They've got the routing channel right there, so the pickup wires go through here, here, and into this channel, and then through there into the cavity of the guitar. So what I'm doing is I am taking the pickups out of this area and unraveling them through the channels. So these pickups here are your basic Chinese looking pickups. N for neck, B for bridge. Okay, cheap pickups, as we found out already. So here's what the inside of this guitar looks like. This is the routing of the guitar. Looks pretty nice. Everything looks real clean. I'm quite impressed. The switch on this thing is actually a really nice switch, so I'm going to leave this switch intact. It's not a switchcraft, I don't believe, but it's I may leave this switch intact. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Okay, I've got these pickups taken out of the pickup rings, and I'm going to go ahead and get the Gibson pickups taken out of the box and get the new Gibson pickups mounted in the black pickup rings with the proper springs and screws for those pickups. I'm going to do that off camera since it's not the most interesting thing to watch on film. Plus it takes me forever. I don't care how many times you take pickups out of pickup rings. It's just a pain in the butt because of the springs and getting the holes lined up properly. So let me get these pickups in the rings, and I'll be back in just a moment to show you what they look like. You know, on second thought, I thought it'd be kind of interesting to show you what these look like coming out of the box, just in case you ever want to buy Gibson pickups. These are the dirty fingers. All right, so there's the pickup. This is dirty fingers right there on the front. That's cool. That's pretty neat. There's the screws and the springs in the baggie. This is a 4 conductor wire pickup, so you can split it if you want. I'm not going to do tap coiling. That's not really my favorite thing to do. The back of that shows the dirty fingers 9/15/23. So I've had this thing for a while, and all right, it's weird. A lot of times you see Gibson pickups and you got to wire the braiding to the top of the pot. This one's just, you know, regular like this. So they've already got these two together, and there's the grounds. That one obviously must be the red one. So that's nice, cool. I'm sure the manual here says all that stuff too, but all right, let's take a look at the Classic 57 Plus. All right, so here's that one. Gibson pickup shop. These are going to sound so good. All right, there's the 57 Plus. It's got the screws and the springs. This one's got the standard shielding that I'm going to have to solder to the top of the pot. And this one here is a, let's see, standard. This is a 2-wire. All right, so just a hot and a ground. And that one is dated 10/6 of 22. Cool. It's going to look great. It's going to look and sound awesome. I'm super pumped. Okay, so that didn't take too long. Here are the pickups in the rings. Got the bridge in the neck ready to go. And they look nice. Pretty stoked. I think that looks so cool that it says Dirty Fingers right there on the pickup. They're going to look great in this guitar. The zebras on this finish are going to look awesome. Now I'm going to put these in the guitar itself and run the pickup wires through the body and get them through the cavity of the guitar, and get the pick guard mounted back on the guitar itself. And then all I've got to do is figure out the wiring on the pots and get these holes. Are probably going to be a little bit too small, like I said, since those were Chinese pots that came out of there. So I'll have to carefully drill a little bit larger hole size, more than likely. All right, so I'm going to put these back in the guitar and put the pick guard back on and get the wires run. Okay, just a quick update. I've got the holes drilled out for the pots. These holes needed to be drilled out quite a significant size larger. So, I've got this 1/4-inch drill bit. It's not a task for the faint of heart. What I always do is do a double layer of painter's tape around the holes. I just surround them completely with painter's tape, and then gently, I went in with a smaller drill bit and sized them up a little bit larger, and then I went with a 1/4-inch bit, and now these pots fit perfectly in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the guitar over, and with the wiring out of the guitar, I'm going to just do all the soldering on the pots outside of the guitar itself. I'm going to lay a cloth down here and get everything soldered nice and clean, and then I'll put the pots in the guitar itself. So I'm going to take care of that. First thing I'm going to do is solder the tone capacitor to the tone pot, get that thing stabilized, and then go from there. Okay, I got everything wired. It took me about 45 minutes. I took my time. I said earlier this isn't an instructional video on how to wire a Explorer, but I'll put my wiring diagram up on the screen for those of you that want to see what I used. No matter how many times I do this, I still look at a wiring diagram. But everything went together just fine. Not the cleanest soldering job. I'm not the best at soldering, but I do okay. So I'm going to tuck all these wires in there real carefully and put the back plate on. I've already tested it and everything works good. The toggle switch, the tone, volumes, everything seems to be in check. So yeah, let's take a look at the other side. I'll show you what these zebras look like in here. Looks pretty hot, man. That's really sexy. So I can't wait to hear what they sound like. So we'll get the back plate put on and this thing strung up with some 9-46s and check it out. Okay, so it's the next day. I worked really late on this thing last night and needed to get some rest. So this morning I went ahead and polished the guitar with some wax and Dunlop 65 guitar polish. Got the fretboard treated, cleaned, and lemon oiled. Everything looks great. So what I'm going to do is put some 9-46 D'Addario strings on it. I've got these. And gonna just get this strung up and then set up. I'm not gonna film the stringing of it, that's just kind of boring, but Again, this isn't a how-to, this is just a documentation of me getting these pickups installed and getting it set back up again, and gonna get these strings on the guitar, and then we'll check it out. Once I get the action lowered just a little bit, we'll check it out and see what it sounds like. I can't wait to see what these pickups actually produce, and hopefully this will turn into a regular player for me. I'm really excited. So let me get the strings on this baby. All right, everything is complete. I got the strings on the guitar. I adjusted the action properly and the pickup height. Everything's clean. I had to adjust the truss rod just a little bit to tighten up the neck relief just a tad. Everything feels excellent. No fret buzzes, no low action. And we're about to plug this in. I'm super excited. It looks great. I really think that the zebra pickups added a lot to the appearance of this guitar. So if it looks as good as it, if it sounds as good as it looks, then this thing's going to be a killer. Let's check it out. All right, everybody, here's the follow-up video. I got to admit, I've been playing on this thing for a while, and it's phenomenal, man. These Gibson pickups really transformed this guitar into a fire-breathing dragon, man. This thing is a total beast. No surprise there. So I couldn't be happier with these pickup selections. The pots sound great. So let's check it out, all right? Feel free to go back in the beginning of the video and, you know, demo the original pickups. Obviously, there's really not much of a difference. They're a little bit louder. In Pro Tools, the actual wave file is louder too, so they're higher output and just better response, better crunchiness, and clarity. So anyway, here we go. We're just gonna do some distorted tones, so that's what we like here on the channel. All right, so here we go.